Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
We have a top 10 team in college hoops going down tonight. Final score UNLV 79, 8th ranked Creighton 64. In this game, Caleb Boone, who was able to play because of the court hearing earlier today, he goes for 25 points and 7 rebounds. How about Deaton Thomas Jr., 16 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds? Meanwhile, Creighton, they dropped to 8-2. They're 0-2 against the Mountain West with that loss to Colorado State on Thanksgiving. They shot 8 of 29 from 3. Chris Mack, what went wrong for the Blue Jays?
Well, a lot, John. I think losing Nemhard has really hurt this team. I just think that Ashworth, while he serves a valuable role, he's just not the dynamic playmaker that Creighton had a year ago. I think Creighton has a quickness issue on the perimeter. I think UNLV exposed that. And I thought we talked about it, before the show, John. I thought Kalkbrenner was very ineffective defensively. Seemed like the man that was, Boone was just putting them under the rim and jump hooking, and that doesn't usually happen. But a lot of times the prescription of going against the shot blocker is take it right at him and try to get in foul trouble. That's exactly what Vegas did, and they were really successful. My biggest concern for Creighton moving forward isn't losing the game at UNLV, but it's the fact that although Greg runs great stuff, he's got 1,000 set plays. The longer your season goes on, the more you're scouted, the more teams know your set plays, and then you have to play after the play. And I don't see a whole lot of playmaking on Creighton's team, like I did a year ago. When the set breaks down, being able to give it to Nemhard and using Kalkbrenner off of a pick and roll is a lot different than Shireman or Ashworth using a pick and roll. And that's something that's not going to get cured, in my opinion. But they'll be a good team. I don't think they're a top 10 team. And that's no disrespect. It's just sort of the cards they're dealt with right now, in my opinion.
How awesome is it to watch Kevin Krueger coach this UNLV team? Okay, Lon Krueger and Coach Mack, I'm sure you've had interactions with him. I'll never forget Lon Krueger. I used to go to the University of Florida's basketball camp, and Lon Krueger would know every single kid's name at the end of camp. It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Amazing.
And I used to play against Kevin Krueger at camp. Then he goes to UNLV, he plays for his dad, and now he's the head coach, and he gets a huge win. And I've talked to Kevin some, and his dad is definitely around the program. Just a special moment for the Krueger family. What a great win. I know to talk about Creighton is important, but I don't want to discount how just awesome that is, that Kevin Krueger is the head coach of UNLV with what his dad did there. He coached with his dad and kind of made his own path, though, too, right? He made his own path to becoming the head coach at UNLV. And I think, look, man, that's a special story, and the Krueger family and everything Coach Krueger did for the game, and now his son's the head coach at UNLV. That is awesome. But as Coach Mack alluded to it, Boone was a force to be reckoned with down there on the block. Losing Nimbar, that hurts. Who's going to be the guy for Creighton where they can put the ball in his hands and create and make plays and create for his teammates? I don't look too deep into this loss just because it was out in Nevada and, everything that comes with traveling. I think Creighton will be okay. I think that, the Big East, how does this look going forward? Where do they finish? And I know we're going to talk about this in a little bit, just in terms of the top tier in the Big East. I just don't want to discredit what Kevin Krueger did tonight with UNLV. It's a great story, and the Krueger family, and especially Coach Lon Krueger, one of the best to ever do it in terms of just about the right things, do it the right way, treat people the right way, and that's a special moment for their family.
Yeah, it's a huge result for UNLV to get them to 4-4. They were coming off of a loss to Loyola Marymount. They also had that very sad campus tragedy. So for them, I know how much they were playing with that tragedy happening and in honor of the victims there. That's a really sports can bring a university together, and UNLV, those guys played their asses off tonight. They beat Creighton on every ball, every 50-50 ball. They beat Creighton in the post. Creighton was a step slow all night. And Mack, I think that's my big takeaway here. Athletically, Creighton was slow. You said it. They didn't have anybody that could dribble penetrate. There's something to be said about being an elite shot making team. But when that's your biggest strength, it can do what it did tonight for them, and that was it totally backfired. They were dominated on the interior.
Yeah, and I also think, again, sort of what Matt said, you got to give UNLV credit. But, what really stuck out to me, because I know Creighton better than I know UNLV, is, if you're going to rely on the three, you got to generate really good ones. And I just felt like, for the most part, it's a struggle for them to really get a lot of quality open shots, especially at the end of the shot clock. Now, make no mistake, they got their fair of threes, and they made some, they missed more. But I just think as they start to play Marquettes of the world, and they start to play the UConns of the world, who have size on the interior, who have quickness, I just think it's going to be tough for them to be a team that can finish in the top 2 or 3, just based on what I saw on a quickness level, and then on offense, an ability to break their man down and create when the shot clock's below 10.
And to Coach Mack's point, Fanta, too, I thought they missed layups, right? I mean, I think there's bunnies inside. Like, you've got to be able to finish those plays, especially if you're going to rely on the three. Maybe nights that the ball's not going in the basket. And we've talked about this with regards to Kentucky too, right? When Kentucky's not making threes, what are they going to do? How are they going to, formulate points in the paint? But I thought in the game, Creighton just missed some bunnies and some layups in and around the basket that, to be an elite level team, you have to be able to make those.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.